Here I'm tackling the air gap that's around the trim of the door. As you can see, there's a lot of light, and this means there's air getting through, which drops the temperature in the house and makes your furnace run continuously. What I've also noticed is that this door does not fully close, it's not flush, so the lock is partially out, and if you look carefully, this particular area has been replaced numerous times. Okay, so after I want to say all 6 kids getting sick, dawned on me I've had air leak at my front door. Had to fix that, tore that completely apart, started all over again. And furnace been running continuously. Because of that, I've had to replace two flame sensors in the furnace. Running continuously, flame sensor burns. It completely would shut the furnace down because it wouldn't detect fire or a flame, so it would shut off. Now, the igniter was fine, okay, but it does have a significant burn to it. But if you're listening behind me now, if you listen, you hear this thing is running continuously. It's been like this all day. I just took a snapshot. Have my temperature set for 78. It's been running at 74, 76 all day, okay? Came home today, same temperature, 74, 76. Won't get any higher, won't reach 78 in order to turn off. So that tells me that there is some sort of temperature loss in the house, okay? So now I'm going to the furnace. I think the furnace now is clogged. Everybody's been sick, so that is also being recycled in the system and can rebirth a sickness in the house all over again. So this is where we're headed today. Check this out. As you can see, this is a 4.5 ton. And to be honest with you, I got an addition in my house which makes this overcapacitated. In addition to that, there's no proper heating going to my addition. So that makes the situation a little bit more of a dilemma. Alright, now for those who don't really understand how furnaces work, your evac coil, which is here, air comes up through, it goes through these outer fins, okay, and then we receive that air on the opposite side, up top through the trunk line and so forth. Well, if you look closely here, this one's clogged. You see all the dirt laying in there? So the heat has been forced downward, which would create more heat on the flame sensor, which is why it burnt out twice. In addition, any sicknesses that you have would also be backed up into this furnace and recycled through the house. So this is what we're dealing with here. That is what I call carpet. And I try to explain this to a lot of people and they really don't get it. But that is like the worst that you can get. Now, I do have a clean house. We only got carpet on the second floor. And to me, there's no excuse behind this. But it's what we got. So what I'm going to do is remove the carpet and, well, remove the dirt and debris and sanitize and clean it. This is what I recommend for everybody, especially when we have these sicknesses out here. You're breathing this stuff all day, every day. And you're sleeping through it, which means your body has been relaxing and ingesting this even furtherly, no resistance at all. So you're breathing this stuff all night, come home all day. Your home's almost the most damaging place you could be if it's not properly maintained. So here's where we are. Just giving you a quick update. We're about to go ahead and tear that boy down a little bit further, and we're going to clean it out. And this is something also for you renters that your landlords are responsible for. This is a seasonal cleaning. You do this in the summertime, right? You know, like this time of year, I would normally do it in every house that I'm in. And it's also my biggest promotion. I do this I have one client, I've been doing this for 5 years. 5 years, this man calls me twice a year to do his furnace because he realized that his health was getting better over this period of time. So again, don't take your health lightly. Always stay on point. And this right here is the heart of the house. That furnace is the heart of the house. It keeps everything moving. Then you got your water right there, your fluid system. Everything's right here that you need to maintain. So don't be shy with it. Get involved. Get a good technician like myself, LeBron Scott. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, The Visionary Lee. You can find me anywhere, man. Just look me up, LeBronScott@gmail.com. I got you. So this is your typical cake and bake. Over a period of time, this stuff is cooked on the winter, and then there's water being raked over it in the summertime when you're running AC. So it goes from hot to cold, and typically you're just baking this stuff over a period of time. Alright, so here I've opened it up fully, and what I'm doing right now is about to pull the motor, which is that circular container back there, and the motherboard, which is sitting up front. That transformer is also full of power, so I always recommend that you kill the power switch that should be on the wall. Ours is located here, and you just always tape it off because a lot of people get it mixed up. So you kill the power there. But if you don't have one of those, in a lot of cases people don't have them, there's a kill switch here. So as soon as you pop the door, the furnace is disabled, and it's a safety mechanism for a non-seasoned technician. So yeah, pretty much you got to relieve the screws here, and this blower will slide out. Alright, so here I've pulled the blower fully out. As you can see, it's contaminated as well. Okay, now this stuff looks minor, alright, but this is a harmonically balanced motor, and it's balanced to work with this wheel that scoops the air and pushes it to you. In addition to those scoops, it also collects dirt, and it coagulates, or coagulate, that's the wrong word, but it gathers onto the wheel, and it, since this is spinning at a high rotation, the dirt that's on there gets compacted on, so you'll get an excessive amount of dirt. This one isn't really that bad. It can be vacuumed off, but as you can see down here on the floor, there's dirt all the way through it. That Clemente on the other side is already cleaning that inner wall for sanitizing. And I've taken all that out, and I'm going to put a bag over the motherboard here after I vacuum it through, in order to protect it from the water. Now I like high pressure water to clean. I really don't do a lot. I do like a spot spray after I get most of this heavy debris out. But once the chemical sets up, the water just really helps push it through a lot quicker. So that's where we are with it right now. I'm about to bag it up, protect all my electrical, and we're going to get to work on this. Yet after another cleaning, you'll be able to see here a lot of caked up debris still. We're talking about a 4-inch thick coil on either side of the A-frame. All this debris is gathered up from the inside out to what you saw as carpet. So this foam has a significant job to go in and pull that debris out. Okay, this is a clean one. The blower, motherboard, the blower wheel, all been cleaned on the inside. I want you to take a look down in there. I'm going to take some snapshots of that, but down in there is a lot of debris. I'm going to grab these shots for you. So all the debris laying on the floor in there is actually from the evac coil as I cleaned it out. If you can look now, it's a little bit more shiny, but this is actually the third cleaning. This stuff is really caked on. We call it cake and bake, and it's really bad, contaminated. And again, in my house, all 6 kids had the flu. not the flu, had stomach virus. And the system is most likely what recycled it through the air, kept us sick for almost 2 weeks. But at this point, we're using a high-powered hose. It's a regular household hose, you know what I mean? But you want to make sure you got a good, solid hose. I normally use my water heater to supply my water. And the reason why I use my water heater is because it's hot water. It helps cut through a lot of the caked up debris, and the force of the nozzle will help just kind of chip away at a lot of the unnecessary debris that's in there. So, and if I have a gas furnace, with a gas furnace you got like heater lines that go in, that flame shoots in there and it heats that particular line up. And when you're cleaning these off, that debris falls on the line. A lot of people don't follow through and clean those off. They actually just fire the system back up, and they wind up baking and cooking what fell onto it. So be very careful to also clean that area. So here I am with my first, well, it's my first hosing, but it's going to be the fourth cleaning. Make sure your nozzle is pull up again. Run another cleaning, and then from there we'll do a rinse. Alright, so as you guys can see, everything cleaned up pretty well and nice and shiny. A lot of debris was pulled out. You know, this is with the water being squeezed out of it. All the housings are really wiped out and sanitized, and it's ready to go. Okay, so finally wrapping everything up. I have the very last of it putting together here. The blower's in, the motherboard's back in. Now it's going to be the initial troubleshoot. Put the door in. Everything should be ready to fire up. Okay, it's a good sign. It means all my electrical components are in place. Okay, I finally put in a filter, put the unit back together, and it appears to be testing out just fine. So all we gotta do is flip the switch. It's going to first read the internal air temperature and do a once through. It's going to run for a few minutes. Then you'll hear the igniters come on. Flame will kick. And then once the sensors can read that there's a flame, it'll continue running. There's your first click. Igniter's coming on. You see the orange in the video. Fire. Typically, if your flame sensor is bad, it'll shut off. It'll been shut off already. And we're running good. So this is how to properly clean your furnace. I recommend you do it this time of year, right after the winter, right before the summer, and vice versa. So twice a year. Again, this has been done for you through LeBrianscott@gmail.com. Also find me on Facebook and Visionary Lee on Twitter. Have a good day. The continuous running of your furnace will give you a high gas bill, as you can see here. For the past 3 months, we've recognized this issue, and in the beginning of the video, you see that I tore things down at the front door because I knew I had an air gap. If your furnace is running continuously, then your electric bill as well will climb and climb and climb. So it's up to you to get these things dealt with as soon as possible.